I would like parents to call up, weigh in. Those parents that have kids who play sports. Do you or do you not run up the score?
Do I got to go?
855 Bert Show.
Do I got to go out of the studio and call, or can I just stay right here?
You can stay right here.
Okay.
You're good. All right, so here's what happened. Kobe Bryant, who is an NBA legend, coaches his 13-year-old daughter's basketball team. So we're talking 13-year-old. This is middle school, okay? And Gianna has her own highlight reel already. I watched it. The girl can ball.
She's good.
She did this spin move inside, just between the defenders. She's got a pure shot from the outside. I played ball, by the way. Played middle school, played high school.
Shaq thinks she sucks.
He would never. No, he just thinks she has bad work ethic, remember? So her dad, Kobe Bryant, coaches the team. And this team is a little more intense than your typical middle school team. And they got to play a team that had previously beat them.
By a point.
They wanted to get revenge. They lost, yes.
They lost by a point the year before.
22-21, which is a typical middle school score, right? Mm-hmm. I remember playing in middle school. I scored one bucket all season long.
And were you the MVP of the team?
No.
He's a star player?
I sat bench. So,
No.
Yeah, I know. Shocker. In middle school, I did. Started in high school. But I sat bench, and they had a rule in middle school where you had to play. So I had to play
I remember that
2
rule.
minutes and 50 seconds of one corner.
No.
All right, so now they want to get revenge of this team that beat them 22-21 2 years ago. They go, they play, they beat this team by 88 points.
These kids are how old? 13?
Wow.
13 years old, middle school. They took a picture, and all the girls are jumping in the air with the scoreboard behind them. The score was 115-27. So my question is, now, Kobe said these girls are making incredible progress. He has a 6-year plan for this team and for these girls. He goes, I have a year-by-year plan for them. We're going to keep adding pieces on his schedule I've already mapped out. He's super into this, which is cute, a little intense, but cute. But 88 points in a middle school game, is that or is that not right?
What?
I think this is typically Kobe. I mean, he was the most intense player ever to play in the NBA, so this makes sense. But I don't think it's good sportsmanship at all. I know there will be some that will say, hey, you want to complain? Then stop me. But these are 13-year-old girls and 88 points. Too much, man. Not sportsmanlike at all. What are you teaching?
Are you supposed to tell them to stop?
No, you put the Kristens in.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, now I know what was happening when I played basketball.
I'm sorry. That was foul.
This is so normal. This is so
I sent her to the
normal.
line, but I knew she'd miss both.
Kristen, your turn. Come in.
This makes a lot of sense now because I thought I was B-string or whatever, and we would I wouldn't go in until we were 88 ahead. Mm-hmm. So now I understand.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Why.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. And I don't have the full details of the game. I don't know if he put the bench in or not, and they were all just
that
on
much better?
fire. I don't know, but 88. They didn't score 88 points. They won by 88. They scored 115-27.
Well, you've played basketball your whole life.
It's a bit excessive, but to be honest, I don't really see anything wrong with it. I feel like sports, you learn a lot of lessons in sports, and unfortunately, that's one of them. That when life is kicking you sometime, it's not going to stop kicking you just because you feel like you don't want to do it anymore. It's a lesson you have to learn, and that's the reason why Kobe is so great and one of the GOATs is because of that mindset. I feel like that's the way it just has to be in sports.
But also, isn't there an opposite lesson to be learned about showing compassion?
No.
In sport, when you get to the college level, right, you use what you learn from high school you learn what you learn from middle school, and when you get to high school and college, especially if you playing in important leagues, they're not going to tell you to take your foot off the brakes because the other team is not as good. You have to learn that at some point in your life, that you have to continue to play and play hard, and if you do want the other team to stop bragging, you have to stop them. That is the mindset of sports.
Here, I'm being called out for being a hypocrite. Go ahead, Brittany.
Yeah, why don't you just go ahead and give them all trophies, Bert? I mean,
I just think, these are 13-year-olds, and running the score up by...
But everybody gets their butt whooped and handed to them in sports at least once.
Yeah. Look, I went on teams that were 0-22, so I know that feeling. But if I am the coach of that team, like I said, I joked about sending the Christians in. I'm sending my C team in there in the last half, so it's not an 88-point defeat. What is the purpose of winning by 40 or winning by 88? I mean, it just seems excessive to me for 13-year-olds.
If I may, I think there was a game where we won like 88-2 or something. It was kind of, I guess, embarrassing, and we should have stopped. But that was the only game where I made a point. So like usually it's just A string is going, and the point guard makes all the points, and she's got like 50 baskets in the first few games. It's insane, and I never got to make one. And this was the game where I made a 3-point shot, and I get to remember that forever. And I was a B stringer, so like I never been in there, and that was the only shot I made the whole season. So like even in those moments where you're way ahead, you still let the other people come in, and they're gonna remember that shot forever.
Most are with Mo on this, man. I mean, sport is sport. Run the score up. You don't like it, stop me. Good morning, Bert Show. Who is this, Deja?
This is Deja.
What's up?
So at the end of the day, I competed in sports. I played basketball. And if you're not going to compete and play hard all the way, there's no point of even playing. So if you're not going to compete and run the score up as much as you can to show them who's the best, then why are you even sports?
Thank you.
Sports.
Appreciate you. Yeah, that's what most are saying is this, go ahead, stop me. Look, if I'm the coach, I'm probably putting the brakes on it.
All right, for the record, it wasn't C string. It was B string.
Yeah.
How many strings were there?
Two.
B out of B.
All right. Okay.
The Bert Show.